Okay, we're now recording. Stop that conversation.
Hi, Woody. Hi, Raph.
Oh, yeah.
Hi,
I'll,
guys.
Hi, everybody.
I'll cut
Hi,
that out.
valued subscribers.
I'm going to cut that out as well. I don't want to say hello to anyone. I don't want anyone to feel like I'm...
Are we above that, are we? Is that what that is?
Oh, I am.
Remember to like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe,
somewhere up here.
Put some comments.
Mate, that's effort, mate. I cut and paste the same thing. I'm surprised they don't want to have the same description, quite frankly. Right. Where did we leave off last week?
We'd sort of hit a little bit of a dead end, I think, with our witch hunter.
It was very tense between each other.
Yeah, you had a bit of a tense moment where you sort of hadn't quite worked out what you were going to do next.
Yeah, I think we've got kind of a crossroads as to what we wanted to do, haven't we?
Literally, yeah. Nehemiah did his little fortune reading on himself and got quite a good roll, so he got a little thing. It didn't really help. It just said make some decisions.
Just said make some decisions. Yeah, exactly. The decision is to not tell Helmet anything.
Because he's grass.
It's the grass. Yeah.
The grass today. Yeah. So yeah, I think the witch hunter, you gave him some information, but not really anything of actual value.
Lied.
Or lied. Yep.
Yep.
Didn't really give him full information. He's not going to help you if you're going out because he's got stuff to do in the town. Yeah, that was the kind of bit there. You've obviously got the mercenaries outside in Camp Redleaf, just outside the walls. And then you discussed briefly, I think, the Jacob Tanner, who was the guy you delivered the box to, and the priestess. I think that was I think it was roughly that discussion was the last discussion we had, wasn't it?
And I want to go for Jacob, and other people want to go and hunt down the mutants.
Nehemiah and I wanted to start in town, and Helmet and Rold wanted to go just get the mercs safe. And I ended up saying, look, I don't really fucking care. Let's just get on with it.
And if you cared, you might have got your own way.
And I don't. So.
Okay, great.
Okay.
I don't have a horse. Basically, party of four.
People. Somebody gets to do that, exactly.
Okay, so I think it's like midday-ish then, isn't it? Because you sort of spoke to the witch hunter in the morning after you got up and stuff. So it's midday-ish on whatever day we're on. As you creep closer and closer to Gehemnashnacht.
Let's go give the medical supplies to the physician and see how many extra fighting folk he can have ready if we happen to wait a day.
I see what you're doing there, Paul.
We said
doing there.
we weren't going to do
nice. Oh, whilst we're waiting.
one day,
if one day we get 4 more people, it's totally worthwhile, isn't it?
It is the 10th of Vorgeheim now, which is June. Not that really matters. But okay. Tell me, you folks tell what you're doing, because we were at a crossroads at the end of the last one. So
I'm pretty much going to go and do that. I'm going to go give the medical supplies to the physician.
Yeah, you know what?
Persuade him.
That is a good plan. If that can get us a few more people ready to come out with us, I'd be willing to wait and do the, I've got his name, Tanner bit.
Okay, let's go and speak with him.
to the mercenaries.
To the mercenaries.
To the mercenaries. Ba-ba. Okay, let me just get the
scene.
You want to speak to the doctor, don't you? Or
yeah.
the thing. Who
I don't know their name. That was probably before I started taking notes.
Yeah, he is Elias Vogel. Yeah, okay. So you've been to the camp. You started off.
Sorry.
Elias Vogel, Vogel.
He sounds like he's in Grimm.
He does sound like a He's a Vogel Bogle.
He's a Vogel Bogle.
It's a very specific. Yeah, one of the. Oh, what's in it this week? Oh, this week it's the Boofenhoofens. They're very specific. Silly program. If you haven't watched Grimm, that probably won't make much sense. But every week there's a new monster.
I got the gist of it. of it.
Every week there's a new monster, and they're always stupid. So, yeah, okay. So you've obviously been to the camp before. Some of you were there this morning, and it's you know, there's people around. There are a few people that are injured, and you know that the Vogel, his supplies were quite low. I mean, you did give him some when you first found them, but some of the bits you're giving them now, or you want to give them now, are, you know, potentially going to help out. So as you approach the camp, no one's like questioning anymore. You see some of the sort of town guards are still quite wary of it. They're still giving them a bit of a side eye, but it's not quite as much as when they first arrived in town, or outside of town, more accurately. And you can see Elias Vogel. The tent that he has set up as his like surgery, for want of a better word, is a big open front tent. It's one of the kind of larger ones they have. There's a couple of buckets of river water outside, which are you know, they're replenished quite frequently because he's using them to sort of clean people. And there's people going back and forwards to the river, which is you're camped right along the river basically. So and you know, you make your way in. I'm assuming you're heading straight to his tent rather than dicking around.
Yeah.
Cool. And he welcomes you over. He said, "Oh yes, gentlemen, yes, it's a pleasure to see you again. I cannot thank you enough." These little spectacles are just sort of hanging off his nose. He welcomes you. Weird. He takes a look at it. He goes, he takes a look at the box, opens the box up, and he sort of starts ruffling through some of it. He goes, "Oh, my friends, this is some of this is of great use to me." Yes, and he starts to sort of have a look through, and he puts some bits to the side, like some herbs that none of you have, like apothecary or anything like that, do you? No. So there's some herbs and stuff that you don't really recognize, but I mean, maybe some of the soldiers you might have seen them used before. You know, you get a rough idea they're healing herbs, but you don't really know what they are that you've seen them use. But he does take a couple of them to kind of to one side. He sort of pulls them and goes, "These are rather strange," and he starts looking through them. He gets like another pair of spectacles out, puts them up just in front of the little ones. Yes, these are not used for helping people, sirs.
Oh, they must have got confused in the mix. I go to take them from him.
And you understand what these are, yes?
They're the opposite.
Yes, quite. Any of you're versed in making these, yes?
No, are you?
I trained in some when I was in the apothecarium studying. Yes, I could perhaps.
Do you think they'd be useful to drop like a mutant?
I'm not an expert in mutant physiology, I'm afraid, sir, but perhaps they are more for ingestion, perhaps. But yes, I believe I could make something if you want.
Good to know. Perhaps some of that, please. But aside from that, how with the other herbs, how many extra fighting folk do you think you could get ready with?
Let's find out, shall we? Oh, okay. Cool. There is enough here, perhaps, to help a handful. There is not a lot here, but there is some who are not so wounded. Some of these would help. I can make some poultices from these.
That sounds very useful, I say, like giving Helmet a steely eye.
It would take me some time to make them up and brew them and to work them, but yes, I would say that by this evening I can have some poultices made and some what's not a poultice but not a potion.
Salve.
Salve, yeah. So draft's good, yeah. And perhaps a draft that would help those who are just need a little pep.
Okay. How would you like some apprentices?
I do not have much time for teaching at the moment, but I can.
If they would be useful. If not, that's fine. I could have found someone.
If there are people that are willing to learn and I have the time, then please. I'm not a registered teacher, of course, but I know a little. And he starts to sort of go through the herbs.
The ingestible one, that'd be really useful. Thanks.
Yes, of course. You are planning to sneak into a mutant camp, yes, and put into their food, I assume.
Absolutely.
he doesn't really question it. He's been hanging out with like outlaws and bandits for the best part of however long. He's like, yep, that's fine. So as I must to work if you are to fun to have these built in time, but built. All right, where is it? I'm gonna build these potions if I to have these in time, but please come back to me this evening, perhaps.
Okay.
And he thanks you for the work. And so some of the people around the camp, some of the kind of injured are, they're quite nearby. They look at you and they're, oh, thank you. Some of the worst injured ones basically are quite thankful to you. The ones that you had to basically carry on the boat. Yeah, I would say that mechanically that's going to give you another 5 people.
I do.
Totally worth it.
Yeah, which has got kind of half again what you had. So I rolled randomly for it. So
mechanically, it's actually 10 people operating at half efficiency.
Yeah. It's like a 3-legged race. Okay.
So do you want to wait now?
Yeah, that'd be the logical step. Yeah, I can see no logical argument against this.
And shall we wait for this ingestible poison that we could give to Jakob?
Yes.
I mean, that's murder, but just FYI, murder is illegal.
We're not above that.
If we need to,
I mean, I'm pretty sure when so people said it would be a shame if he wasn't around anymore, we're all absolutely fine with murder.
Oh yeah. Just want you to be aware that murder is illegal in Reichland, just so you know. That's all. I just want you to be fully aware of the consequences.
Is there not a boatman who had 4 sons before he started working for us?
Well, they're his mates.
No, but they're not his sons. I thought you said they were his sons.
They were never his sons. That'd be my 4 sons are dead. Oh well.
How come work for you now?
Was that not the basis of the whole argument we had in that episode? We were like, oh, we'll just trust this guy. And I was like, no, you just murdered his kids.
No.
No, don't be
I think has made that up.
You went to a dark place, mate. Yeah. Okay. So like he's quite content that you're doing that. Well, Wanawire is busy negotiating or discussing whatever. What are the rest of you doing?
I suppose just sort of speak to the people that are probably going to come out of us, sort of general chit chat again, sort of carrying on that, sort of getting a feel for them, sort of finding out what they're good at.
Yeah, that's good, Colin.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to give you each of you can go through a person that you speak to, like someone that you spend a particular time speaking to, whatever, and we'll just go for like what their kind of speciality is and what their bit of background for them. So if we do one each, and then I think that'd be quite nice. And then you all get a little person you get to describe who's going to come out with you, and the rest are all faceless blib blobs. Right, let's start with Tom because you're top left on my screen. Rolled.
Okay.
Who is the person you spend a bit of time chatting to?
I chat to one of the. So this is one of the kind of outlaw mercenary types.
Okay.
They are probably late teens. Somebody with. They're gonna have a bow, I think.
Okay. Yep.
Probably not that sure of themselves, but they're outdoorsy types. That kind of, I guess, slightly on the person of the woods.
Okay.
Kind of that forager, kind of, I guess, not quite poacher, but yeah, goes off hunting game, that kind of thing. Okay. Probably keeps the mercenary company in, rabbit and stuff.
All right, that sounds good. So, rabbit. All right, yeah, he's pretty happy. He's sort of, he probably lets on that he was a poacher, and he kind of was, because he had to make a bit of, had to make some money basically and get by, especially if he. But he is actually one of the better providers in the tent. They do really rely on him. He managed to bring down a boar once, which was quite good. Impressive. Yeah, he's pretty good. He's actually he's not a bad shot when he really wants to. We'll give him a name in a second. His name is.
I'm just searching for names.
Yeah, his name is first name Caroline. He can
Okay.
be.
No.
Okay,
Carol. No,
Carol.
Yeah.
Carol. Yeah, there we go. Carol the mercenary.
With a K though. With a
With
K.
I spell it with a K, obviously. If Reichland, obviously it's a K.
Yeah, good.
So Carol the Merc Outlaw, she's late teens. She's pretty good with a bow. She's pretty tasty with a bow. She's not totally confident, but she should be because she's actually a pretty good shot. She's a pretty good hunter. She's pretty outdoorsy. She can poach, catch a bit of rabbit, and she did once bring down a boar, which is not an easy feat. Because the boars in Reichland are massive, quite frankly. Well done. Helmet, Mark.
Yeah, I'm speaking to a woman called Miska.
Miska, nice.
Not a Reichland name. She's probably in about her 30s, quite short and quite small, but very sturdy at the same time, very sort of weather-beaten skin.
Okay.
She seems to have a few scars on her face. You think maybe they're actually a little bit ritualistic, but probably not sort of war stuff like that.
Yeah.
Got quite a thick Kislevi accent.
Okay.
She doesn't really explain why she's traveling with the outlaws or anything like that.
Okay.
She does have sort of a bag, which from the shape, you get the idea, might have some armor in it, but she keeps that very much hidden away. And from her belt, she has 2 very long eagle feathers.
Okay.
And she carries a recurve bow.
Oh.
Which is obviously very strange to see in Reichland.
Yeah. I mean, Kislev is obviously far north. For her to be here is unusual, and she clearly knows what she's all about. Yeah, she keeps herself to herself a bit. She's only really speaks to you because of what you've done. But you do, you get a few things out of her. I think she tells you like she came south before the last incursion and decided to stay here, and then had no real love to go back. But she's quite reluctant to say why she won't go back to the north. She doesn't, and you feel like if you push her on it, she really doesn't want to mention. Really, it makes her quite. I wouldn't say she gets aggressive, but she makes it very clear she's not willing to talk about it. You think that probably if you weren't so sort of good with the mercenaries, she'd probably smash you in the face and take the fuck off. Namaya, Paul.
So I am going to speak to Lucas and Ingrid to try and find someone that's particularly clever and bright, or who can read, and then, if possible, then find a lovely lass called Atilia, and I want to try and persuade her to apprentice to Elias and actually learn how to do little bits out in the field.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, actually, I think that maybe Atilia was kind of hanging around when you were doing the stuff. So when you were giving the stuff to Elias, she was probably hanging around quite near.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a fairly easy thing for she kind of volunteers quite for she heard what you said and drags you, and she's actually quite eager to. She really does. She does want to learn.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's fine. I'll give you a short one because you did the best part with and Adam. But
yes, so young man called Jakob, and he's very very tall, very very thin.
Another Jakob.
Like blue eyes. He's a bit spotty. His shirt's nicer than it should be, and then when you look closely, you realise so's his belt and so's his swords. And he's talking about being a very, very capable swordsman, but all his kit's very nice, and he looks very, very green. And like I said, he's a bit spotty, and he tells you, "Oh no, he's 17, and yeah, he's had a couple of years under his belt." But
yeah,
is he 17?
Okay, okay.
But he's very confident in his skill, and he shows you the web of death and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. How do the people around him react when he's talking about how good he is at fighting?
They don't really I don't know. They're not laughing at him, but they're not.
Right.
They're not like flocking to him. Yeah, just. Yeah.
And his swords, do they look like they've been used, or do they look like they're straight out the forge?
They're finer than they should be.
Right. Okay.
Someone of his age. I mean. He looks like the kind of guy that takes good care of his kit. So if they've been used, he's the kind of person that might have sharpened them and oiled since. Okay. He's certainly not had years of battle under his belt. but he's very confident.
He's very confident. His kit's nice. Okay, all right, I like it. So yeah, you spend a bit of time chatting to those while one of Myri's doing a bit of getting the thing sorted, and the Elias is going through. He's my favourite. He's very confident young man.
Paul Turton.
Is he confident or is he not quite sure? Because that's when he was struck.
Oh, the closet smash.
He sleeps in a really square kind of like wooden box. He sleeps in, and it didn't survive coming out of the Red Leaf camp because the Maya fucking Kool-Aid man threw it. Probably got to cut that out as well. Well, we'll see. What's the timestamp? It doesn't matter. Okay, so as you're talking through there, is anyone near the river?
No, not particularly.
All right, you don't fall in then. You don't go the troll, the river troll. But the guy you're chatting to actually is by the river because he's doing a bit of cleaning on his kit and stuff. While you're talking to, he actually keep cleaning his kit. Doesn't look like it needs cleaning, but he's doing a bit of cleaning. You actually see, pardon?
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Apparently, it's not. You actually see quite a lot of wood come floating, like wooden planks come floating down the river. And you see one go past, which isn't unusual to see a bit of drift, a bit of like river drift, but quite a lot of wooden planks you can see off the distance, and what looks like smashed crates and stuff start to kind of float down the river. You see them coming closer. As they sort of, there's a little, not a commotion, but some of the guards from the town are kind of looking out, and some of the people who sort of work outside of the river start to talk. Like there's people fishing on the river and stuff. The river folk stuff start to kind of talk to each other and murmur to each other, and you get the kind of feeling this is a bit unusual to see this what is effectively wreckage floating down the river.
How far is it from this town to the sea? Like, how much more upriver is there?
Pretty far, yeah. Let me just. I'm just going to get a map of Reichland up. I mean, the sea isn't very close, basically.
So it's expected there's another town before.
Yeah, let's get the little local map up for where you are, basically.
Because I don't think there's another town on that map, is there? Like south of this one.
There's nothing south, but the river is obviously coming down. Let me just get you a map up. How do I share my screen? Do this 1,000 times. Share screen. Okay. So the river is flowing down here.
And is that north?
That's north, yeah. So the river's flowing down here. This is where the stuff, you can see some wooden like planks and broken crates stuff floating down the river here.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, would be from that because their camp's just outside here, basically.
Okay.
So I thought it was going up the way from south. Sorry.
No, that's the way the river's going, and that's the harder way to go. So that's what you see coming down.
This is Jakob. This is unusual. I suppose you're not a man of the river.
He sort of turns. You go. I spend all my time training. That's most of my river folk. There's some around here. I did read a book once about the river.
Yeah, look, if you see any more unusual crates or if barrels, let me know. I'm going to go and tell the grapher I'll be back. Keep an eye out, and I'll just. I've got a measure of him by now.
Yeah. I think you know him. I think we all know him.
He's going to come running at you going, there's an emergency, there's an emergency. There was another crate.
Yeah, there's yeah. Yeah, that's what you see.
I'll head to town and quite briskly.
Yeah, you're not far out. You're within like 50 foot of the walls of the camp. Basically, it's not anything. So it doesn't take you long to get into town. They're camped out. They're camped within bow range of the walls. Basically, is what the kind of deal was.
Okay, I'd like if I get to the actual walls, I'll ask the guards there. Have there been any riders from north in the last day?
One of the guys tells you there's only kind of one road in from the north. He says, no, we've not had. We had the last one we had come in from the north was a week ago, maybe. A couple of merchants come from up in Rotfoot, but
how many days travel is Rotfoot?
On horse. Well, if you're going by horse, you're looking at 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, depending on how the road is. It's through the hills, so it's going to slow down. Probably 4, unless you're quick. You go by river, it could be 2.5, 3 if you're a good riverman.
Okay, thank you. And then I'll look for this lot.
They're sort of scattered around the camp, kind of chatting away.
I'll roll a d6 to see who I see first.
Exciting.
Fun, isn't it? That's just a bit of fun, isn't it?
It's just a bit of fun.
It's a bit of fun, isn't it? 4.
Honest bit of fun. I like it.
So I bump into Helmet, but Helmet, there's something. Something worrying on the river. There was like wreckage from. It could have been a random sort of barge, but I think.
All right.
I don't know.
What's
happened?
I sort of, while talking to Berth, I'll head down towards the river, and if I can pick a bit of this wood out, does it look like it's sort of a crate, or is it more sort of sturdy construction?
Yeah, you can. There's quite a few bits going past, and actually people are kind of fishing bits out. Some of the people that are fishing have kind of are putting nets out to try and drag bits in. So it's quite easy for you to grab a bit. So there's a couple of bits that are they're clearly bits of crate. Like you can see that it's a corner. You can see there's a couple of bits of crate, but there's also a couple of bits that are bigger planks. Like there's bigger planks basically that would be.
Is it sort of the size that sort of be used for building sort of a dock or something like that, or?
Not really. No, it's not that big, but it's
okay. But a boat, something like that.
Yeah, it's not a building size.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you're not like.
No, I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I'm just kind of comparing it to things that I've seen in this town.
Yeah. You would say it's not as big as the planks or it's not as big as the beams and stuff that are used for the houses, but it's maybe slightly bigger than the boat that you've been on, at least.
Okay. And this is flying from the direction that the mutants went to, isn't it? It's north,
it's coming from up north. Yeah, it's coming down. The river flows down from everything from north flows down, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't look sinister in that it's unusual. But if there's a lot of this, then I think we need to go out to Rotfoot.
Yeah, I mean, boats sink, but this time with the mutants and things like that, I think there's something going on here.
So the guards seem to think it's and I'll misquote him and say, yeah, it was a week's travel by horse because of the mountain trail, but maybe 2.5 days by boat. So the last travellers that came in, he said that was maybe 4 or 5 days ago. So it makes sense that if they'd have left, it could have happened after them. And just because of the nature of the river, it happens itself.
Yeah. Maybe we can get ourselves hired to go and investigate what this is.
If we head north as well, we'll possibly come closer to wherever these mutants are as well. So
I killed 2 birds with 1 stone, get hired to investigate what's going on here and also to do the original job we wanted.
Yeah.
Actually, it might be worth us speaking to the Lowhavens and see if they know who the traders that own these crates were. If we could find a piece that had a mark on it or a branding or.
Yeah, I think the most crates through the Empire are stamped with, like a or scorched with like a brand of a trader. I think that'd be totally fair to be able to pick one out and and grab one that's have some sort of trading thing on it. Let me.
Yeah, I imagine one of the people fishing bits out would have a
Yeah.
chunk that had a symbol or a...
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. You can grab a piece that's got some sort of, or the best part of what is you can make out as a heraldry. Let me just. Obviously, this is completely planned about where it's exactly coming from, but yeah, okay, I've got an idea. Cool. So yeah, you could grab a bit. You don't have to carry around a whole massive crate. You can sort of snap a plank off that's got the best part of a seal kind of embedded into it, basically. None of you are traders as such, are you? But you can tell that it's got a it has a seal that you can see in there. And so, what are you doing? You're just taking it.
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah,
Cool.
Take it to Low Havens.
Yeah, no, like it's not unusual. There's nothing weird about you to like fishing stuff out. People are kind of, you see a few people that are kind of dragging it through they're kind of, some of the crates are a bit more intact and they're sort of trying to turn out and see if there's anything in them, but there's nothing of value. No one gets anything of value from out of it, basically.
Just all this green glass.
It's just loads of green glass. Just full of like pistols and stuff. It's rubbish.
Just casually see a fish just walk out the stream.
Yeah, it's just like walks out.
Cut someone.
It's cold in here. Okay. Yeah, so you have a piece of crate.
Is it just crates, or does it look like bits of boat as well?
It looks like bits of boat, yeah. Which is, well, yeah, it's bits of boat and smashed up crates.
Yeah, Mike, do you know if, see the locals, do they feel like this is one boat, or is it a fleet, or what are the...
Right, I'll go and speak to the poor people.
Yeah,
I know you lot don't.
Fishermen.
Yeah, there's a few fishermen and stuff around. There's there's some people that are just like working the river. There's some sort of people that are fishy or having their like lunch and stuff outside the walls.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's having a little lunch.
What are they having for lunch?
Tuna sandwich. Fisherman, no. Yeah, fisherman.
Sweet corn?
He's got he hasn't got sweet corn, but he has put some crisps in it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Bretonian.
Oh. Yeah, there's some people there and they'll kind of look a bit funny at you because you're a bit funnily dressed. But yeah, they're kind of they've just fished out quite a large bit of crate actually, and they're kind of a bit disappointed that there was absolutely nothing in it.
Ask them if they've recognised any heraldry or anything like that, or seen any bodies.
Yeah, these two. Yeah, there's actually that's you haven't seen any come down. You haven't seen. You're all in roughly the same area. And you certainly haven't seen any bodies, and they turn to go, I don't recognise any of this, I'm afraid, but it's a damn shame what happened. That looks like best part of maybe three boats have been smashed up there.
3 boats. How often does like fleet's $2,000, but a trio of boats all come in at the same time?
Are you asking the
yeah
guy? Yeah, okay. Well, get maybe once a month, you'll get 2 or 3 will come down at the same time from Rotfoot or Midland if we're lucky, and then maybe up in old Grunberg if it's staying in Reichland and stuff. But it's once a month maybe.
We're a little bit worried this might be linked to what happened to the city. So if you do see any evidence of who it was and where they came from, could you let the captain of the mercenaries know, because then we can go and deal with it?
Oh, it's going to be them beasts out in the forest, isn't it? Or they're Midlanders probably.
Exactly. And if we hunt them down, we want to know where we're going. So if you can help so that they don't attack us again, we'd be very grateful.
the other one nudges, mate nudges, goes, no, I bet it was Sterlanders. I've seen some Sterlanders around here. You know, Sterling, no, probably Avelanders. Oh yeah, must probably Avelanders, which is like nowhere near Reichland. It is to the east of Reichland, and they just like they start going on about basically listing parts of the empire where they think it might have come from and getting more and more suspicious. Oh, probably yeah, Talagas.
Put themselves in a circle of suspicion.
Yeah, yeah.
Now that I've confused them with the plot, so they wander away.
Yeah. All right. You've got a bit of broken boat or broken crate.
I'll just say, look, I don't think this is our priority, as sad and as shameful as it might be for the families of those that are stranded or killed. This isn't what we're here to do now.
Unless we can work out which city it came from, because that then gives us a better idea of which way we're heading north, rather than just north blind.
Or the Lowhavens might pay us to go look into it.
Or I guess if I was to say, I'd be prepared to pay them to find it out and come back to us, because I think we need to stay on track with what we're doing. We're already very distracted.
And it may be that they are, in fact, the mutants we're looking for have attacked them. So
we need to deal with Bold Man.
I think what I'm saying is there are enough threats here and enough threats there outside that we can't agree anyway. Having a boat appear smashed on the shore, we need someone else to tell us if this is our priority or not.
Okay, so you're saying leave it until someone comes to us about it and makes it an issue for us?
Or pay someone to make this their priority.
Well, at the very least, we can send this, maybe not to the Lowhavens, but to, what's his name? Where are my notes gone? Uncle
Graf,
Graf.
Lord von Albert.
That's it, Lord von Albert. He will probably want to know.
Uncle Lord von Albert.
That's his full name.
I'm a little bit worried our first thing is, well, let's go to the Lowhavens, when actually we could have just asked the Lord.
And to be fair, if this happens once a month, the Lowhavens will know anyway, and so will he.
Okay, so we're saying ignore it.
It's rare for us. It doesn't sound like it's that rare for them.
You asked how often a boat comes.
How often there's a wreck.
Yeah.
I thought you asked how often does a wreck come.
No, that was boats.
Okay.
Yeah, a trio of boats is about once a month, but if we haven't seen anything from the north for about a month, that is about the right timeline.
Just as on a location of I'll just show you where Reichland is, by the way.
Green shirt.
Yeah, there we go. So Reichland is here, where you are. You're currently here in Owlswold.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is north. You are almost the most southern part of the empire.
Well, I get that.
Hey, wait. So which way is the river flowing then?
The river flows up that way.
So can you jump to the north of the town?
You said
What?
it's flow north to south.
Yeah, the river flows that way.
South to north.
Out to the sea.
Go to the other map.
All right. This one.
This is what happens when you make maps of people. They'll fucking stitch you up over
Right,
them.
yeah. The river goes up there.
So-
and it goes out to the sea.
Okay, so the wreckage came from which direction?
Oh no, sorry, the water comes down there. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the water does come down. Yeah, it comes down. It must be floating. It's floating down the river. Yeah, sorry.
It's
To
chaos
the
wrecking.
thirsty mountain. There's the thirsty mountain that sucks the water out the sea.
I think I followed them on Twitter.
Yeah. There's water down here.
I'd watch that. Thirsty mountain.
There's water down here. Yeah, it does flow down. Yeah, it's magic. It's a magic world. It does flow down. And what?
Fucking Bretonians.
There's
Bretonians stealing our water?
you been to Bretonia? That's why their lake's so magic. It sucks the water up. For the purposes of this, it's flowing down that rail, right?
All right.
If you want to be correct, we can change it. It's fine.
I don't want to walk for 4 days on a boat or something. Sail 4 days on a boat in the wrong direction.
4 days on the boat is walking up and down the boat.
Yeah, it's walking up and down the boat. You can come from there. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, that's where it's coming from. So, deal with it. And there's mutants and goblins and magic. Shut up.
No, I want river flow. I want the tidal levels.
I've just told you.
You give us a calendar. Why can't we have a,
Do any of you have? Sorry, do any of you have law rivers?
Well, that's what
I've got Reichland law.
Reichland law. Yeah.
Look,
All right then. Okay then.
Gemologist.
All right then, everyone. Roll your Reichland law and let's see how much you know about this fucking river, shall we?
95.
95? Yeah, cool.
It's wet, right?
No.
47.
Oh,
Yeah, okay, so you failed as well.
Roll two. What do we roll? Roll 2d10.
71. I'm going to use a fortune point.
Good. I'm glad you. I really hope you fuck
All
it
right,
up.
15.
Yeah. What'd you get?
fuck
15.
off.
15.
15. All right, but you are a bit confused because you feel like it should be flowing north.
You've forgotten about Bert though. He couldn't give two fucks.
Exactly. So no one here questions it as to why it should be flowing north or why it should be flowing a different way. But questions it briefly, but doesn't care.
Realizes he has to speak to Jacob again to investigate.
Yeah.
That's him.
Also, the moons have a weird effect on the water in the area.
Fucking moon.
Oh, that sounds feasible. Yeah.
There's two moons, so that is how it works. Anyway, back to the actual call.
So the wind.
The wind.
Right, are we just ignoring that bit of plot? Or are we just carried on with the Tanner bit? Yeah.
Sounds like we've ignored all the plot and we're just going for the main quest. That's, I think, what we agreed last time.
Maybe this is the main quest. It's not.
Nah.
All right. So what are you doing now?
Gotta go to a sex party.
You go to sex party. Okay. Have you got your invite?
Let's go and get
Crush it like all good parties.
one.
Um,
Right, are we waiting till tomorrow to go and mutant hunt? No.
Only like 1 in the afternoon, isn't it?
yeah, it's like 1 in the afternoon. Yeah, but the doctor did say it's going to take him.
What's the
until-
weather like?
It's quite nice. It's summer.
For the sex party?
Oh, is it like quite nice 16 degrees? Or is it like quite nice like 27 degrees top of weather? How many days like this a year?
Yes, it's quite nice. It's nice. It's June. It's middle of June.
Yeah, but how many days like this a year do we get? Is this like a top 3?
No, top 20.
And is there a beach on the local river? Do you like the rivers? Do you know the big rivers that have a beach?
North Beach or South Beach?
Oh, just sand, really.
No, there's no sand.
I'll do the quest.
Do the quest.
It's too far to go to the beach. It's only a top 20 day.
Yes, exactly. It's top 20.
Yeah, exactly. All top
The
20
top
days
3
leave.
play Pedlos.
Yeah, nice. Those little swan ones.
I'll get the Pedlos.
Peddlers. I'll get the peddlers in, lads. Don't worry. Peddlers are quite good at tracking.
For the rest of the day, while we wait for this, shall we like spy on Mr. Greensnorter
And the old woman.
and the old woman? Yeah, we could split the party 4 ways, maybe make it really easy for Pal and go do
That'd
some
be
flying.
That'd be good. I'd like that. I'd like it if you all did so.
But I'm going to the nearest sand beach.
Well, you know, because of your Reichland law, that's going to be up to the north. To west.
Where the fucking mutants are.
Yeah. Sister Martha is the Shallian nun. You know of
Martha. Thank you.
Martha or Marta, depends how you pronounce it. Okay. So this is good. Split the party if you want to. That'd be fun.
We don't have to.
It's up to you. I don't care.
We could just carry on making friends and then just go tomorrow.
No, I think we should split the party, but then just gloss over the next 8 hours of the day.
Yeah, split the party.
Yeah.
If it's spying, then we do it tomorrow. Done.
That's ideal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can rock.
And what is our plan tomorrow? What is our plan tomorrow?
We're going to muster at 11.
Tonight is kill the sex party. Tomorrow is wade in the blood of the sex party from the night before.
So we should muster earlier tomorrow. It's planned for a 9 o'clock muster.
Okay.
Make the most of the sun.
About 11.
So don't get too drunk tonight.
Drop on blood.
Let's go to the sex party.
Okay.
So you want to go to Jakob Tanner's house?
Knock on his door.
Just his house. Okay.
Just go along in the early afternoon. You know, it'll be totally fine.
Yeah, it is the early afternoon. You've dicked around on the river for a bit.
Yeah, we're going to dick around at Tanner's house.
You can dick around at Tanner's house if you want to. So Tanner, we know he lives in a fairly nice part of town.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sort of what would be south of the marketplace, basically. He lives. It's actually a fair nice. You've been here before. You know what it's like. He lives around here. This little bit here. So put a little red bit. He lives around here somewhere. Cool. Stop that. Yeah, so you know roughly, you know where he lives. You've been there. It's a fairly busy day actually. You've been around. You can't hear the Flagellants having a shout, which is they've been there for the past couple of days. You can't really hear them having a shout at the moment. But you obviously, I'm assuming you're taking a fairly direct route to Tanner's house. The market's quite busy. It's a fairly busy day at the market. You go through. There's no screaming Flagellants. It's actually a pretty nice day. There's people out around. The fear from a couple of days ago seems to have gone a little bit. People have sort of gone back to their normal lives, and you can quite happily make your way towards Tanner's house if you wish to. Cool. What are you doing when you get to Tanner's house?
I am just going to sit outside and see if he comes out and follow. Or I might try and look through his windows.
Okay. There are some windows.
Three sort of taverns or inns nearby.
There is one that's fairly near to his house. Yeah, it doesn't overlook it, but it's maybe a minute or so walk.
But because it's 20 day, nobody would think it's weird as drinking in the streets.
No, it's like getting pissed in the street is not advised, but like just existing in the street at a bit.
Yeah, I'll get a couple of pints to take away, and
sounds good.
So this is you've been in Tanner's house. This is his downstairs of his house that you've been in.
Very nice.
Yeah, so there's some stairs here. You've not been upstairs yet, but you have been in his house, so you know that's what the outside looks like. So obviously those bits are little windows.
Do we not see a downstairs in like?
I'm gonna say I'm sure I had a feeling there was a downstairs. Yeah.
Oh, the boiler.
This is the downstairs.
No, but I'm feeling that we saw a basement entrance.
You saw
under that rug.
Yeah, under that rug there was a little. You saw what is like a little basement entrance. Or
fucking perverts.
Cheeky.
Full of perverts. But yeah, if you want to try and what are you doing? Like you're outside his house and you're doing a bit of street drinking.
I want to have a look through the window on the top right.
This one?
Yes.
The one that's in the river, overlooks the river.
Oh, sorry. Then no, not that one. Then there's the kitchen one. See how old his boiler is and see if he's at his desk.
That's his little stove. Yeah, that actually is the only window that is closed over. So the kind of wooden shutters are over that window, and you can see that. You can see that is the only window that is developed. That's also the window where, like, he went upstairs and sort of positioned you over here when he was doing her, but you didn't really get a view in here. But that's the only window that is closed or shuttered.
I want to have a quick look around the perimeter as well and see if there's like any like mini windows or air holes or vents to the sex dungeon.
Yeah, do a search, sort of search thing. What do you reckon? I'm loath to use perception too much, but I think it might be the one that here.
It might be the one this time. Okay, at all.
Drive. Use drive.
Okay.
Drive around in your car, seeing what's going on. Just do a perception check.
You could do a.
I'm going to re-roll that shit.
Okay.
Many fortune. Oh, 7.
7?
Yes.
Okay. So there's here, this area here, there is what looks like a pipe that goes out into the river.
Mm-hmm.
It's about sort of that big, I guess.
Okay.
So it's not big enough for a very small person probably could go through it, but it's
Like a baby.
like a child. Yeah, like a child could fit through that. But yeah, there is a pipe here. There doesn't appear to be any entrances that look like they go underground though. There's certainly no like you think about those little tiny windows that just look out from basements, aren't you? Yeah. There are none of those. There is certainly nothing that would imply there is a basement there.
That's even more suspicious.
That is pretty suspicious, yeah.
I don't know. I just want to go in there, but
You don't see him in there. Like that window's closed, but you've had a look through. You don't actually, with that roll, you don't actually see him in there.
he's either out or in the basement doing bad things that we can catch red-handed.
Could be upstairs.
He's upstairs.
There is an upstairs, but you haven't been up there.
Good to be upstairs having a little afternoon wank. Nice summer's day.
Yeah, it's a nice day.
Top 20 day.
How secure does the door look? Front door? Can we just open it?
It's locked.
But I mean, like, can we just open it in the? It's locked, but it's.
Does it look like a strong wind would accidentally open it?
You could probably force the door open, but it wouldn't be particularly inconspicuous.
Yeah, I'm thinking more. Does it look like a strong kick would get the door open?
Yeah, I reckon a pretty strong kick could get the door open.
Helmet with his sturdy legs could do it.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, you are in the middle of a street in the middle of the day.
Yeah, I have sort of. If you broach that idea, I would go, yeah, but maybe not now.
What about the windows? Is there any of the windows look like they could be eased open?
One of the upstairs ones is open, but the downstairs ones, yeah, you could ease those open. I mean, you'd have to. They're not particularly secure, but I mean they're wood over glass. They're wooden kind of shuttered basically. So you'd have to kind of. They're not glass windows; they're shuttered windows.
Yeah.
Although it doesn't make sense without glass windows. But one of the upstairs ones is open. Bum bum bum.
I think I'm just gonna take a back seat and just watch Nehemiah poke his way around.
I'll pass roll a pint as we just kind of nonchalantly observe.
What other buildings are there? What are the 4 closest buildings? Are they all houses? Is there a pub?
It's all houses. It's mostly houses nearby. You're in the kind of
Posh end.
It's not really posh. It's kind of fairly posh area. It's not where the most money is, but it's quite a nice area of town. But it's not like you don't look out of place here. Basically, it's a little more expensive. Like the pub's a little more expensive.
So I'm really looking for like a way to cause a big distraction. If that's starting a fight or
just run down the street.
Knocking over a stall, like a market stall. That's what I'm looking for to buy Nehemiah some time to break in.
Wow, go and attack some melons.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, genuinely, I'm looking to knock over a stall or something like that. So what like is there, or is it just residential, nice houses?
The whole town is fairly kind of tradey in some ways because of the nature of the river. So yeah, I'd say I think that's fair. There's like a little stall, like a little kind of river trader, maybe just a guy who's selling some like fish on a stick. Fish on a stick. It's quite close to the house. Like I'd say it's probably on this rivery bit on the right hand side here.
I quite like him. I want to distract people away, and I don't want to murder this guy or ruin his business. There was a guy selling like fruit or like crystal healing or something like that. I'd knock his stall over. But
right.
Yeah. What jobs does Birth not have any respect for? Let's trade.
Mystics. Anyone like Nehemiah?
Sorry, Paul.
I would.
He was doing cards.
Let's go with right. But you can choose like there to be something here, but you need to spend a fate point.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll spend a fate point. I would I'd love there to be a charlatan or a flagellant. I'd most like a flagellant, if not a charlatan.
that makes sense. Yeah, that's fine. So like, you spend your fate point, obviously. So it's almost like you kind of like you're looking around for something, and as you're kind of stuck, you're looking around for something. A flagellant just comes like stumbling from out the side of like one of the houses. They're covered in like they're covered in blood basically, but it's like as they sort of stare close, you can see it's mostly theirs, their own, and they look like they've just pulled themselves out of a trash heap basically, like where there's just stuff down the side. They pulled themselves out. They probably just slept there for the night, and as soon as they wake up and start seeing people, they start their usual ranting. They're doing their unclean, all of you will pay for the sins of this town. They start kind of ranting in this area. Looking at him, you do see like his face is quite bruised. He's obviously like taken an injury at some point recently. That's not of his own. You know, you can see like the small cuts and stuff all over him that he has as a flagellant, but this is like he got an injury, and he starts ranting on again.
Okay, and I'll look to Nehemiah and say, I think you've got a couple of minutes here, and then I'll march over, sort of not direct, not like I'm going for the flagellant, but like I'm going to walk past him, but with a lot of purpose.
Okay,
like open my water skin kind of thing, and I'm like marching that way, and then as he kind of is in my space, I'll like do that like high school bump into him kind of thing, and be like, "Oh, do you know what? Of everyone here, you're unclean. You know what it is." And I'll throw my water skin at him and say, like, "You're the look. If anyone needs fucking cleaned, it's you." And I'm trying to rile him up now and trying to get a bit of a rise out of him.
It doesn't take a lot to get a rise out of him. Like he's.
I kind of hope to just have a bit of a breakdown. Just starts crying at him.
I didn't want to be a flagellant. I wanted to be an accountant, but I failed the exams. He like as soon as you like throw water over him or you like push him out of the way, he just says like, "How dare you strike one of Sigmar's favored? How dare you sit up?" And he like lunges at you with like hot, like his nails are too long and they're cracked and dirty, like, and he just kind of like lunges at you and goes to grab for you basically.
I'll try and defend him, but like, how can Sigmar favour you? Get out! No one wants you here. And like try and roll him towards the river and be like, the best place for you is upstream, in the sea. And
roll a strength check. He's like.
It's probably harder than me.
No, he's not a big guy. He's pretty wiry though. Like you can see that he's like that sort of ripcord thin because he's always like he's sort of doing muscle ups.
I rolled a 92.
Okay. He's rolled a 28.
Yep, he's fucked me.
You can spend a fate point. Right?
Nah, that's quite funny.
Okay. So he lunges at you and he's a lot stronger than you think. Like he looks like he is a lot stronger than he looks basically. Part of that is definitely because he's just frenzied. He's really jacked up on being a zealot basically, and he just grabs you, wrestles you to the floor. There's like foam and blood and spit coming from his mouth as he's shouting at you, and he just starts wailing on you with fists. Like his knuckles are horrible and bloody, and he'll do let's say a point of damage, partial toughness. So he's just starting to wail on you basically, and he's like, I guess
I'm actually now more than defend myself. I'll take more damage if that's all right. I want to make sure we're drawing a crowd.
Yeah, people are now. If you want to turn this into an actual fight, we'll just do like a post strength checks and stuff. But yeah, they're like you can really
right. So I want to turn this into a bit of a pantomime.
Right. Okay.
That's kind of my objective.
Okay. And I'm going to head to the back window and try to get in through there.
So how are you turning this into pantomime? You try to extend the fight.
Let him deck me, and then I'm going to be like, while he's wailing on me, and I'll cover my mouth and be like, where were you in the defence of the town? I was pivotal. You know me. We've raised a band of mercenaries. We've raised a banner, and where were you when the 9-foot mutants were here? And blah blah blah. And like, I'm trying to make him angrier, and I'm prepared to spend hit points on that.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. So we'll say that can go on for a bit, and we'll narratively take some damage as the time goes on. If you want to just kind of let him wail on you, basically.
Yeah, until I'm about a quarter points, and then I'll start panicking and try and get myself out.
Yeah, do a fellowship check actually to sort of see how people around are like, or performance check, see how people around are kind of like reacting to it.
What have I got? I've got charm is 20.
It's a standard check. Actually, I think it's probably an easy check because of what you're doing. Like, people don't like these flagellants, and certainly like some of the stuff that actually, if you want to, because of the relationship that's happened, Namaya, if you wanted to, you could probably use your.
I'm
going to start
asked him to not get involved.
It's up to you because there's a few people around that you've spotted that like
Yeah,
and
to start a riot.
There's a few people around that you know basically, and although you wanted to raise it against the witch hunter, because of their relationship with the witch hunter, I would say that you could spend the thing you did in your downtime now if you wanted to, which would cause a bit of a braying mob potentially against the flagellants. But there'd be no. It's not obvious that you've set it off. It's just you could spend your.
Yeah, I'll happily do that.
Yeah. So while Bert's doing this, you actually spot a couple of the people in the crowd that you kind of knew from your things.
See, I told you they're after us, and we're the heroes. Like they're after the church,
and they're like,
shouldn't stand for it.
Yeah, you're right. And they like, and one of them like, he looks around and he spots like, not even a flagellant, but he spots a guy who's just like looks a bit untidy, a bit unkempt in the distance. He goes, yeah, and just throws a tankard at him, and the other one like lunges in for the flagellant that's fighting Bert, but like gets a backhand for his trouble. This guy's quite strong. This flagellant's pretty tough actually. At the kind of the thing goes flying across and hits the old guy, and it just turns into a bit of a not a full-on street brawl yet, but there's enough distraction going on now that people are kind of like, what's going on now?
Yeah, I'm hoping to create enough distraction that Bert can start to like extricate himself from it.
Yeah, no, like Bert did quite substantially lose that like roll off against the guy, so the guy he's beating him, but there's now like there's people fighting people they think might be flagellants, and some of them are, but it's a bit chaotic at the moment. But you've definitely caused a scene.
Right, let's use this to get in.
I'm just punching.
It's a helmet around.
Just bleeding and punching. I'm not involved.
I'm going to go and open the back window. Does someone want to come with?
Right, I'll go with Namaya. Namaya, what is the plan here?
We're going to go in the back window. Probably going to open the front door, so we've got an exit straight away if we need it.
Helmet and rolled at the cafe.
What's in the basement?
Espressos. Like, okay, I'll finish my double espresso. Nehemiah, what could I do?
You hear a window smash somewhere.
And then if he finds us, we tell him that we're here to protect him from the mob that's out for him, and he should go to the basement for safety. Come on, let's go.
What?
I'm off to the back window.
Okay. It's quite high. It's quite high. It's a house window, so you'll need to climb up.
I'm gonna give him a boost.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Do a. Climb is actually a skill, I think.
It's a skill.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, do it with have a plus 20 climb because your mate's helping you out.
Good, I'm glad about that. I just passed.
Okay, then yeah, it takes a bit of time, but you're coming through this sort of top window here, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, so it takes you a bit of time, but you managed to get into the house. You kind of it takes you maybe 30 seconds or so to sort of helmet gives you a bit of a boost up.
And then I'm going to sneak over to the front door and
you're upstairs. You're upstairs at the moment.
Oh.
Bum, bum,
That's an
bum.
upstairs window. That's exciting.
You came in through here.
Okay.
So you would have come in through this window, basically.
Okay. I'm going to sneak downstairs, yeah.
Just downstairs.
Yeah,
So-
first of all, downstairs. Assuming no one's in the bed.
Well, where are you going? There's no one in the bed. Like, that's fine. So what's your actual path through here?
My actual path is...
You get this is amazing. You get to here. You can't hear anyone. But in fact, roll perception because there's quite a lot going on outside.
Oh my
I
god.
got 42 under 46.
You don't hear anyone at the moment.
Right, so I'm going to ease myself against that horizontal wall.
Okay. This one here?
No, the one down from the bed.
This one?
So get out of the room and start just hugging the wall there.
Okay, can you roll stealth?
Bang on the number.
Okay, then
It's going to go wrong very quickly.
Okay, well, let me just bang on the number, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you kind of make a bit of room around. You kind of start to stealth your way around here. The door does open like that, so you're gonna have to stealth around the door if you want to.
Okay.
The door is open though. And then you're gonna get to here.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're pretty sure you can hear something from over here. But you're not 100%. But you're pretty sure from around this area you hear something.
I'm gonna quickly head downstairs.
Okay. Oh, let's swap to downstairs.
And then open the front door.
Okay. The front door opens. Yeah, the front. What, are you here now?
Gesticulate to Raoul, who's there.
You hear some whistles from outside. A bit far.
Buzz, come on.
Quite far.
The worst plan.
Tom, you're on mute.
Oh, I do apologise. Oh dear.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm just in the street, like hearing the whistles, watching this fight in front of me between me and the house. You're like, what the hell is happening here? I'm not going to go that way. Just
you see, like you can see, Bert is getting his head kicked in by a flat. Take another couple of points of damage, Bert. This guy is wailing on you now. Like people are trying to pull him off, but when they do, like, there's some people that are obviously quite sort of fearful of. Actually, they're kind of helping the Flagellant basically because, like, whose side do you pick? But he's just kind of wailing out at people. So yeah, Roll. Do you see Bert getting wailed on by a Flagellant, and some people are trying to like someone puts the boot in a little bit on him, but doesn't really. There's not much enthusiasm behind it, but
okay. I think I'm slightly more focused on Bert than Nehemiah, so I'm going to try and wade in and pull Bert out of there.
So leave it up to me to go in the house.
Yes, just grab him, try and pull him back out.
No, but like, I'm sure you know what I was trying to do.
Yeah, and it's now getting to the point where it's like you're getting the shit kicked out of you. We've got the Rozzers on the way. It's gonna look bad if we're like, so what happened? And we're like, oh,
Flagellant. That's what happened.
yeah.
okay. Just do
I break it up.
Yeah, do a strength check. Rolled.
Strength check.
See if you can basically put. There's people are sort of brawling in the streets now. Mostly, I mean, quite a bit of the ire is at the. There's a couple of there are like a couple of Flagellants now. Quite most of the ire is directed towards them.
Wait a minute. He's rolled on his horse.
Almost certainly not.
So one degree of success there. Spot on.
So yeah, you can grab Bert and you can pull him out. He doesn't look great. Like he's been punched.
No.
You're not worth it, Bert.
Leave him, Daryl, leave him.
No.
But yeah, it's pretty chaotic at the moment. Like a melon comes rolling down the street from somewhere. Like the little guy's fish stall, like someone goes flying and just sort of bangs against his little fish stall, but he doesn't get knocked down yet, but it doesn't look like it can take another person going into it. You see a priest of Shalia. She kind of steps away and sort of steps out of the way. This street isn't great at the moment, but you do hear the whistles of what you know is town guards, sort of not close, but the whistles getting closer. This door's open. You're around here somewhere, Helmet. So the front door's open. You're around the back somewhere.
There's no map at the moment.
Yeah, I'm just going to bring it up.
The plan that I was going to open the front door.
Yeah.
As Roll pulls me away, can I see the front door of this house is open?
Yeah.
I'm going to tug Roll towards it and be like, just go in there.
Yeah, go on then. I follow
And
it.
then bolt in. And as soon as Roll's in, close the door behind the four of us.
Okay. So, what are you doing? Slamming the door shut?
No.
Okay.
Run in. Close the door very gently.
There's quite a lot of noise.
Pretty much that. I think that's Bert's level. Like sprinting, heaving, and then really quietly close the door.
Right, there we go. Let's get that out. There we go.
Trying to be stealthy but calm.
Okay. So downstairs, upstairs. So you're all down here at the moment.
I'm going to pull some random bits of fabric out of my crap and tie it around my face like I'm a bandit.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. You got some fabric. That's fine. Yeah, you don't hear anything.
Can we see out through the door, or is it just a solid wooden door?
The door is wood. Yeah, the door is a wooden door.
Is it possible to kind of just look out through cracks?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. There's like a tiny little the what's it called? Like the window thing, the little slidey window thing.
Window.
Yeah.
Well, I'm probably looking pretty fucked, so I'm going to stand by the door, like a bit like weapon drawn, and just be like, and then I'm just going to stand by the door.
Right. Can we be clear what we're here to do?
Look under the bear carpet. See what's going on in the sex dungeon.
You're all inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, hang on. How did Helmet get in?
I came in with you.
Yeah.
Did you not come in with
okay.
Maya?
No,
He did come in with me, but I did say my plan was to open the front door, so we've got an exit, and you lot can get in.
Yeah, he gave him a bunk up basically. You're all inside.
I'm gonna have a look into the bear carpet.
As you go to look under the bear carpet, you do hear from upstairs someone shouting out into the street. What's going on? What's going on? As a brick comes smashing through the window, you hear a window smash upstairs, basically, and an object has come through the window.
Is it Tanner's voice?
It is Tanner's voice.
Plan B.